Good evening and welcome to Frazier Field, here where the Lynn English Bulldogs are hosting the Medford Mustangs. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue, happy to bring you GBL baseball here in the city of Lynn. I want to say thanks to my viewership for tuning in to Lynn Educational Television and my crew. We got Billy and Godswill from Lynn Classical here bringing you these smooth and steady shots. Senior night here tonight. First pitch, a little low and outside. Starting off the lineup with Medford. Giogas. Giogas is playing in the second base position today. Elian Pena on the mound tonight for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs right now standing at a record of 6-8. Their last game, a loss to Malden, and they got Marblehead tomorrow. Right where he wants it. Elian Pena with the delivery. Smokes it in for a strike. My apologies. Pena at the catching position today. Pitching is Elijah Wallace. Wallace, one of the seniors here today. First at bat is a walk. So Giogas will take first. Next up to the plate, Mangan. Mangan playing in the center field position for the Mustangs tonight. Wallace gets the call from Pena. Gets set for the delivery. Oh, and 1 count. Medford standing at a record of 7-8. As of today, their last game, a W over Everett, 6-3. And they got Woburn Memorial later. We'll see these teams face off later on next week for their second GBL matchup. So top of the first, no outs, 1 on at first. Giogas getting a walk from Wallace. The delivery, solid cut there, and unfortunately for him, Pena's got a good grasp on it. So no attempt at first, and first K of the day for Wallace. Next up, the right fielder, Lombardo, for the Mustangs. One out. 1 on. Wallace delivers. Nice shot between second and first base. Forces Calderon to come on up. So no outs, 2 on. Marino, the next batter. Marino for the next batter from Medford. Marino playing in the shortstop position today. Wallace looking back to second, just making sure that Giogas knows that he's there. Wallace with the delivery. 0-1 count. Wallace with it over the shortstop. At second, opportunity for a double play. And then just barely Marino able to get on first. But Lombardo's going to get thrown out at second. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Next up to the plate, the designated hitter, right. Looking back to first. trying to catch Marino, and he can't get it. Marino too quick to get back. Gilbert Galva has celebrated the end of the half inning twice in this at bat. The old make it look like it. Wallace gets the call from Pena, the delivery. And Marino's going to go, and he's going to be safe. And now coming home, stealing Giogas. A botched catch from Pena, trying to get it back over for the third out. And they call him safe. So an attempt to pick off the base runner results in some messy infielding. The Mustangs are up 2-0. So Giogas will score, as well as Marino after stealing second. And it looked like he was going to get called out. Giogas steals home. Looks like we've got a little bit of a discrepancy on the field. And it looks like they're going to give him one, but they're not going to give him the second. Marino came screaming in to third once they threw home, rounded the bases, and got called for the third out. Well, English hasn't put their mitts down, and Medford still has bats in their hands, so it looks like it's still under review. The umpire will go to the first base umpire and make an assessment, while Coach Azzarello is making him aware he's still watching. So it looks like that's going to be the verdict. And we're going to head in to the bottom of the first. We'll be back after this break. 0-0. All right, and we're back with the bottom of the first. Senior Kenny Manziano up to bat, the shortstop today. So a little bit of discrepancy there. Both base runners. Well, it started with Marino stealing second, and some bad infield. It was just a missed opportunity to throw him out, and ball went into center field. Then he had Giogas coming from home. Let's get back to it. That looks like a fair ball, but it might have bounced off of his ankle, and looks like he's nursing that one. And Kenny Manziano playing in the shortstop position, a senior here on senior night. Just kind of putting an exclamation point there on the end. Yeah, so Giogas came out with a walk. First shot for Wallace on the mound. He ended up being batted into third. And on a steal attempt from Marino, while Wright was up at bat, didn't even get an opportunity to finish his at-bat. Marino ends up going to second. Giogas steals home off of the bad play. And we thought that he'd cross home plate before the third out. But apparently it didn't. So we got a 0-0 score here in the bottom of the first. On the mound today, Moody. Brings the heat there, 0-2 count. Catching for the Mustangs, D'Orazio. Pop fly, got to stay infield. Medford first baseman's under it. He'll sure up the first out. Manziano goes down swinging. with a fly out. Play made by Pucci. Pucci playing at the first base position, and he'll lead off the inning for Medford in the second. Next up to bat, Sanders Richardson. Richardson playing in the second base position. A lot of chitter-chatter coming from the Dogs' dugout for the man in 10. 1 out, 1-1 count. The pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2. Moody hitting him with the changeup there. Moody with the pitch. Richardson gets a piece of it, but it rolls foul along the third baseline. One and two count, 1 out here for the Dogs in the bottom of the first. The pitch gets a piece of that one. Shallow ball right back to Moody. And a quick toss over to first base to Pucci for the second out. So a ground out for Richardson in his first at bat. Gama Calderon up to bat next, the lefty. Calderon playing in the right field position. Wearing a winter face mask on this beautiful May afternoon for some reason. Moody with the pitch. Calderon takes a solid cut, but can't put the bat on the ball. 1-1, 2 outs. Moody with the pitch. Just a bit outside. 2-1. Pop fly, looks like it's going to make it just shallow center left field. And the shortstop out of Medford able to make a play on it. Marino doing a good job to ensure the third out of the first inning. So after 1 and a little bit of turmoil, the score is 0-0. And we're back, bottom of the second here. Leading off for Medford, the designated hitter wearing number 11, Wright. Right at bat at the end of the top of the first. Deep shot there. That one's going to fall foul along the first baseline. Just a little too far into the stands for anybody to get there. So Wright was the last batter in the box at the end of the top of the first. And everybody up here on the press box was debating on what had happened, but a third out was earned before he could get a pitch on. Wallace tried to throw out a steal at first, and you saw it, didn't you? Short, choppy, foul ball. Wallace lives for another day. So 3 up, 3 down for both teams. Wallace with the pitch, and Wright able to smoke that one into a shallow center left field. He'll get hung up at first for a single. And Gilmer Pena having to run about 50 yards to retrieve that one. Next up to the plate, the first baseman, Pucci. Pucci wearing 21. Wallace looking over to first and making sure that Wright knows he's aware, and he'll take an opportunity at it, force him back there. Medford already with an attempted steal from first to second. Elijah Wallace, a senior. It's senior night here tonight for Lynn English. We'll be saying goodbye to Kenny Manziano. Elijah Wallace throwing back to first. Nothing there. As well as Juan Reyes. So 3 seniors departing from Lynn English this year. Wallace gets set. The pitch, showing bunt. And Wallace able to get the out at first. Sacrifice bunt to get right in scoring position at second. Next up to the plate, Crohan. Crohan wearing 13. So 1 out for the Mustangs. 1 on in scoring position at second. The pitch, short choppy ground ball. Wallace is going to try to get there. And a botched play there by the second baseman wearing number 10, Sanders Richardson. And that's going to give the go-ahead for Crowan to take second. And coming home from second base is Wright, the designated hitter. So Wright gets his first run of the day. And Pucci gets the RBI. Sorry, Crowan. D'Orazio up to bat next. D'Orazio playing in the catching position today. So you'll see him in much of your frame. So Crowan gets the double after the sloppy infield work. A pitch from Wallace fouled back. One and one count, 1 out, 1 on in scoring position. The Mustangs lead 1-0 over English. Wallace looking back to second. Trying to shake Crohan back to the bag. Two and one count, just a bit high there. Elian Pena gives him the call. Wallace agrees. The delivery. Fouls back. 2-2 count. Wallace is set. The pitch, short choppy ground ball over to the second baseman, thrown out at first for the second out of the inning. So D'Orazio goes down with a ground out. Good heads-up play there by the second baseman out of Lynn English, Sanderson Richardson. So redeems himself after the error. 2 outs. Piccolo up next. Piccolo. And 1 in scoring position. Crohan working his way closer and closer to home. Pitch, short choppy ball. And not even going to try to take a shot at it. Jariel Benson. So Piccolo gets the first. And Crowan comes home for the second run of the day after batting in right. 2-0, Medford over the Dogs here in the top of the second. 2 outs, 1 on in first base. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Giogas up to bat. His first a walk. Going to second. Pena Not able to deliver it right where he wants it. Forces the English shortstop to recover. That's Kenny Manziano. So Piccolo gonna steal second. Medford playing the small ball game today, and it's working quite effectively. The pitch from Wallace, grounder over to the first baseman. He's gonna run it out for the third out, and that'll be it. And I'm sure Wallace is certainly relieved, just trying to get out of this inning. So Giogas goes down with a ground out. Good heads-up play there by Gilbert Galva to ensure the third out of the inning. So at the end of the top of the first, Medford leads Lynn English 2-0. And we're back here, bottom of the second. Jariel Benson leading off for the Dogs. Medford leading 2-0. A lot of chirping coming from the English dugout. Shot fouled away. Moody, the pitcher for Medford today. Mustangs are at a record of 7-8. Their last GBL game, a victory over Everett. And they got Marblehead tomorrow. Woburn Memorial. But English has got Marblehead tomorrow. The pitch from Moody. Call ball, 1-2. Jariel Benson, the third baseman. Swing and a miss, drop ball. And D'Orazio trying to say he tagged him out midway at first. And the ump is saying, no way, Jose. And it looks like they're going to give Benson the single. And we're certainly going to see another visit from Coach Azzarello. I'm trying to get confirmation as to what happened here. D'Orazio's making his claim. So a drop third strike results in a single for Benson. Gilbert Galva, the first baseman, up next. Galva with a nice play in the last Medford at-bat to close out the top of the second. And a lot of uh-ohs coming from the English dugout. I think they're alluding to the idea that Gilbert Galva is a kid who can hit the ball. So Benson, with a liberal lead from first, has the attention of Moody. The pitch just outside, 1-0. Moody looking back, trying to remind Benson that he knows he's there. Another one outside. 2-0. D'Orazio makes the call to Moody. He agrees. The delivery fouled back. And that one's out of here. And we'll remind the camera guy that he doesn't need to film the inside of the press box. Otherwise, you'll know all our secrets there at home. Another one outside, 3-1 count. Moody certainly a little shaken up there after the call on the third strike drop. So throws it back over and makes sure Benson's jersey gets a little dirty. The pitch, high and away, back up and over our heads. And the kid's got power. If he can make contact where he wants, it should be an exciting play. 1 out, 3-2 count here. Moody gets the call, the delivery just outside. And Galva will take the walk. So 2 on, no outs. Benzen's at second, Galva is at first. Wilfredo Perez, the designated hitter, in his first at bat. Waits the pitch from Moody. Smokes it down the middle for the first strike, 0-1 count. Deep shot to center field. Opportunity for the first out. Both base runners are going to be held up. Nice job by Mangan out of Medford to make that play. And luckily for the outfielders, there's a nice bit of an overcast. But as the sun sets here over behind Frazier Field, it'd be a little tough to see that ball. So Perez goes down with a flyout. Julian Rodriguez, the left fielder, up to bat for English. 0-1 count, 1 out for the Dogs, 2 on, 1 at scoring position. The pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2. The pitch, Rodriguez fouls that one along the first base line. Lives for another pitch. Let's see if he does something with it. Forced to back up a little bit there. The pitch from Rodriguez brings it to a 2-2 count, way outside. And a great job by D'Orazio to keep that one in play, as English has got 2 base runners on, 1 at first and second. Benzen at second, and Galva, the first baseman, at first. Swing and a miss. First K of the day for Moody. Rodriguez goes down swinging in his first at bat. Next up to bat, the pitcher, Elijah Wallace, a senior here at Lynn English, here on senior night. Wallace's first at bat of the day. 2 outs and 2 on. Moody trying to hit him with the high stuff. And Wallace not taking the bait. 1-0 count, 2 outs. The pitch from Moody right where he wants it. Strike call, 1-1. English in some desperation to get a runner across home plate as they trail 2-0 to Medford. And Moody trying to catch Benzen a little too far off of second. Pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Moody with the pitch. A lot of celebration from the Medford Mustang side of the field. And then a lot of oohs and ahs. Not very happy with the officiating crew here early in this GBL matchup. 3-2 count. 2 outs, 2 on. Benson on at second in scoring position. And Galva hanging out at first after the walk. Moody looking back to second. Nobody's there for the pickoff. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the day, and that one's to end the inning. So, I'm sorry, that's the end. Yeah, they end the inning. End the inning, Mr. Donahue. So, at the end of 2, the Dogs still trailing Medford 2-0. Top of the third here. Our Dogs trailing 2-0 to Medford. Elijah Wallace on the mound for the Bulldogs today. And Gilmer Pena gonna come out. Be evaluated by the coaching staff. This is a new one. Maybe a bit of an equipment malfunction. I want to say thanks to those who are tuning in to GBL Baseball. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue from Lynn Educational Television, reminding you, if you're watching on YouTube, to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening here in the city of Lynn and with the schools. Our crew from Classicals here filming today's game. Billy and Godswill up in the perch, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. And we're here in the top of the second. And leading off for the Mustangs, Mangan. Mangan with a strikeout in his first at-bat. Grounder over to the second baseman. The delivery to first for the first out. Mangan will be thrown out on the ground out. Sanderson Richardson there on the play. Lombardo, the next batter in the box for the Mustangs. Lombardo playing in the right field position today. Lombardo with a single in his first at-bat, but thrown out at second on an attempted steal. Or sorry, forced out at second on a base hit from Marino. Wallace with the delivery. Gets the strike he's looking for. 0-1 count. Wallace delivers, and Lombardo takes the bait on the low stuff. Hit him with a bit of a changeup. One and two count. Wallace with the pitch in the dirt. Pena able to recover pretty easily. And that's Elian Pena. And playing the opposite of him in center field is Gilmer Pena. And from what Coach Malaya told me, these guys are brothers or cousins. They're related somehow. Jack Marino taking some time to let Wallace know who's in control. The delivery. Strike three, drop third strike. Quick and easy out. So Lombardo goes down swinging. Second K of the day for Wallace. And Pena fires that one over to Galva on the drop third strike. 2 outs for the Mustangs. Pitch from Wallace, low and outside. So Lombardo goes down swinging. Marino up to bat. Pop fly into right field. Tracking it down, the English right fielder for the third out. That's Gama Calderon, sorry. And that'll be the third out of the inning for the Mustangs. So 3 up, 3 down inning for the Dogs as they walk their way into the bottom of the third. And at the end of the half inning, the Mustangs still leading over the Dogs 2-0. And we're back here. Bottom of the third, Lynn English trailing by 2. The center fielder, Gilmer Pena, up to bat, his first of the day. Swing and a miss. Moody's delivered up 2 strikeouts so far. And coincidentally enough, it was the last 2 English batters in the bottom of the second. Moody gets the third strike there. Catches Gilmer licking. And that's his third of the day. Back to the top of the Lynn English lineup. Kenny Manziano up next. Manziano is what I spelled it as. Pop fly, that one's gonna fall over the backstop and into row 3. So Manzano with a fly out in his first at-bat. Catches a ball there. The pitch from Moody, just a bit high, 2-1 count. The pitch, that's a high fly ball, an opportunity for the Medford infield to get there is cut short as that one falls in a row 5 along the first baseline. So Manzanio able to live another day. 2-2 count, 1 out here for the Dogs as they trail 2-0 to the Mustangs. Moody with the pitch. Fouls back. We almost got a souvenir up here. The pitch. High fly ball. That one's going to stay in the park. And the Medford catcher, D'Orazio, able to ensure the second out. And Manzanio goes down with another flyout. Sanders Richardson, the second baseman, the next batter up for the Dogs. Looking at 2 outs here. A ground out in his first at-bat. Kid's been on the infield. Had a bit of a slip-up on a delivery to first. Trying to make a double play, and he hits a deep ball to center field. That one's cleaned up by the Medford defense. Good heads-up play by Mangan to ensure the third out. And that'll be it. After 3, Medford still leading English 2-0. And we're back. Dogs trailing. The designated hitter right, the batter lefty in the box. Wallace gets the call from Pena, the delivery just a bit inside. Wright with a single in his last at-bat was able to steal third from second. and then tried to steal home and then was called out. And we're not sure because Pena couldn't keep control over the ball. We were wondering if he hadn't touched home. Hits that one over to the shortstop for Lynn English, trying to deliver it. Gets it for the third out. I'm sorry, the first out. A little bit of excitement there. So the DH right goes down with a ground out. Great job by Kenny Manziano to field the ball and deliver it cleanly to Gilbert Galva from the shortstop position. Kid's got an arm on him. So 1 out, nobody on. Pucci, the batter, up next. Pucci, the first baseman for the Medford Mustangs. The pitch from Wallace, call ball. 1-0 count. Wallace gets that one to Pucci, takes a piece of it. But not the piece he wanted. 1-1 count, 1 out here for the Mustangs in the top of the fourth. Drives that one along the third baseline, scooped up and fielded cleanly. A great job by Jariel Benson to get that one over to Gilbert Galva for the second out of the inning. So another ground out for the Mustangs here in the top of the fourth. Crowan, the next batter up for the Mustangs. Crowan playing in the third base position, wearing number 13. Senior night here for the Dogs. English saying goodbye to 3 seniors. Wallace trying to get it over to Galva for the pickoff. And it looks like they're going to call him safe, so Pucci gets on at first with a single. We'll make that correction for you. So 1 out here. And Wallace is trying to make a truth teller out of me by picking him off. No deals made, I promise. So Pucci gets the first. 1 out here. Crow in the batter. So at the end of the season, the Dogs are going to say bye to Kenny Manziano, who's playing in the shortstop position. Elijah Wallace, you see on the mound. And Juan Reyes, playing in the backup position today. And if Wallace can throw this kid Pucci out at first, I might root for the Bulldogs for 1 series during the Thanksgiving game next year. Gets a piece of that one, called foul. Pucci already on his way back from second. Crowan steps into the box. Wallace looking over to Pucci at first, trying to get it to Galva in time, just not there. Galva trying to hit him with the old hidden ball trick. And Pucci said, I've been playing this game for at least 8 years. You ain't going to hit me with that one. First time these teams are matching up this season. Swinging a strike there, 1-2. Wallace with the delivery just a bit outside. Pena showing Pucci that it's not that hard to look over there and see you. So please kindly head back to first. He declines his invitation. Wallace gets set from the mound. Crowan gets a piece of that one. Opportunity at a double play here. English isn't going to be able to get it. Manziano, the shortstop there, after the play from Sanders Richardson, They're able to get the force out at second. So Pucci goes down, but Crowan replaces him at first. 2 outs here for the Mustangs as D'Orazio is up next. D'Orazio, the catcher for the Mustangs. A ground out in his first at-bat. Wallace with the pitch, just a bit low. I think we can give Crowan the double. Just a bad infield play. An attempt to get the double play. Looks like Wallace is going to end up hitting D'Orazio, and D'Orazio is going to end up with a beating and a shot at first as a base runner. So 2 outs here for the Mustangs. Piccolo, the next batter up from Medford. 2 on, 2 out, 1 in scoring position. Wallace delivering a strike. Medford able to drive in 2 runs early in the top of the second. Shot right back to Wallace. Throws it over to Galva for the 3rd out of the inning. So Piccolo goes down with a ground out. Couple of hits there for the Mustangs, but can't manage to turn them into any runs. As we head into the bottom of the 4th, the Dogs are still trailing Medford 2-0. Bottom of the 4th, the Dogs still trying to manage to earn those 2 runs back. Leading off, Gama Calderon takes a shot there to center field. Center fielder for Medford been very active today. English doing a good job at making contact, but just keeping it too high up in the sky. So Mangan, the center fielder for the Mustangs, been called on about 3 to 4 times today. And Calderon goes down with a flyout. Much like his first at-bat. Jariel Benzin, the next batter up for the Bulldogs. Benzin, the 3rd baseman. Foul ball there, bounces off of the ball player's thigh. Shakes it off. Deep shot there to center field. And there again, Mangan to ensure the 2nd out in the bottom of the 4th here. And a bit of deja vu here in the Frazier Field press box, as we just saw something like that happen. The first baseman, Gilbert Galva, the next batter up in the box. Moody looks to the lefty and delivers. Fouls that one back. 0-1 count. Galva with a walk in his first at-bat. This is only his 2nd of the day. The pitch, just a bit outside, 1-1. The pitch from Moody, a bit high, 2-1 count. 2 outs for the Dogs, no on. 3rd batter in the lineup for the bottom of the 4th. Galva hits that one high into the sky. The center fielder for Medford coming up for it. Called off by the 2nd baseman out of Medford to ensure the 3rd out. And that one is going to go to Georgis. So 3 up, 3 down, 3 flyouts for the Dogs, and they still trail Medford at the end of 4, 2-0. And we're back here, top of the fifth. Mustangs leading the Dogs 2-0. Pitch from Wallace, 1-1 count. Giogas, the batter up for the Mustangs. Great play for the second baseman in the last at-bat. And his ground ball goes right back to Wallace, and Wallace delivers it over to Gala for the first out in the fifth. So Giogas with a walk in his first at-bat and 2 groundouts in his last 2 at-bats. Giogas having to drive all the way up in the center field to make the last play. Pitch from Wallace, swing and a miss. Mangan, the batter, a ground out in his last at-bat, and met the fierce steam from Wallace in his first with a strikeout. Elijah Wallace, a senior here for the Bulldogs here on senior night. Mangan takes some time to step out of the box and reassess. Wallace with the delivery, a short choppy ground ball over to the shortstop, delivered to Galva for the second out. So Mangan goes down with another ground out. And Manziano can throw that ball from the shortstop position over to first with no hesitation, no problem. Anytime there's a double play opportunity, or at least today, we've seen him struggle in delivering. A couple of high balls over Galva's head resulted in some stolen bases in prolonged innings. Wallace's first pitch, a strike, catches Lombardo looking. Lombardo, the shortstop for the Mustangs. Pitch from Wallace. Foul ball as it bounces off of the ankle of Lombardo. Elian Pena, quick to help him and show good sportsmanship, get him to his feet. Elijah Wallace with the high stuff. Lombardo with the check swing forces the ump to look to first. 1-2 count here, 2 outs for the Mustangs. Wallace with the delivery, a little inside, 2-2. Elijah Wallace delivers, ground ball right back to the mound, delivers it over to Galva for the third out. So 3 up, 3 down for the Mustangs as we head into the bottom of the fifth. The Dogs still looking for an opportunity and a way to cross home plate at least twice. Let's see if they can do it this inning. 2-0. Bottom of the fifth here. Dogs trailing 2-0. First pitch from Moody, a little wild. Wilfredo Perez, the designated hitter, up for the Bulldogs. A fly out in his first at-bat. Catches a strike there, in 1 count. Moody with the pitch, Wilfredo Perez swinging with all his might to catch nothing but a prayer. 1-2. Moody with the pitch. He's able to get it past the third baseman. And he might have an opportunity to go to second. And that was cut short by the first base coach. So the first base hit for the Bulldogs in 2 innings. Wilfredo Perez gets on in his second at-bat with a single. And Crowan just can't get a good, clean fielding on it. bounces off of him and rolls into shallow center left field. So Perez is on first. Julian Rodriguez, the left fielder, up. Oh, we got a pinch hitter out here. And we're looking at Andres Figueroa. Figueroa's first at bat of the day. Moody's first pitch, a strike. Andres Figueroa, the batter, up. Pinch hitting for Julian Rodriguez. High fly ball. That one's going to fall way foul. And a Medford fan almost went home with a souvenir and a lawsuit. High fly ball. That one's going to stay inside the diamond. Moody going to just clean it up on his own. So Figueroa coming in to pinch hit for Julian Rodriguez. Ends up with a fly out in the first out of the bottom of the fifth for the Bulldogs. So 1 out, 1 on. Perez, the designated hitter, at first base. Elijah Wallace, the pitcher, up next for the Bulldogs. Wallace delivered a strikeout in his first at-bat, his second of the day right now. Strike call, 1-1 count. The pitch gets a piece of that one. It falls foul back up over the backstop. The Medford fans are ducking for cover. Moody with the delivery. Short, choppy ground ball over to the third base. Can't field it cleanly. Can he get to first for a safe, and that's where he'll be. So 2 on, 1 out. Elijah Wallace able to get a ground ball single. Thanks to the hesitation of Crowan out of Medford. So Wallace digs it out, gets himself on base for the first time today. Gilmer Pena, the center fielder for Lynn English. Next, 2 on, 1 out. And Perez in scoring position at second. D'Orazio going to take some time to talk it over with Moody and calm him down. And Pena going to take an opportunity to have a conversation with the third base coach. Showing butt here in a perfect position. Can he get to first on time? And he is. And Crowan decides to hold it. Now we've got loaded bases, 1 out for the Dogs. So a lot of 3 up, 3 down innings for the Bulldogs. Coming out strong here in the bottom of the fifth. And now we're back to the top of the lineup. Kenny Manzanio, the next batter up for the Bulldogs, playing in the shortstop position, and a senior. And the kid made it all baseball season with an announcer who probably got his name right. And on senior night, he gets the JV guy. So I want to say my apologies to you, buddy. Kenny Manzanio doing a good job in the shortstop position today. Facing a few flyouts, 2 at-bats so far. His 3rd of the day so far. And you can't ask for a better situation for a guy at the top of the lineup. Loaded bases, 1 out. Not a ton of pressure. Moody's been pitching through 4 innings already. Fouls that one along the first baseline. Moody is set. Manzanillo awaits the pitch. 1-1. Moody with the delivery, and we got an opportunity to steal home. And here he comes. The DH, Wilfredo Perez, earns himself his first run of the day. Orazio not able to handle the pitch from Moody cleanly. That allows all base runners to advance. So 1 out, 2-1 count here for Manzanio. And 2 in scoring position. Takes a shot at that one, fouls it out along the third baseline. Ball call there. Full count for Kenny Manzanio. Short choppy ball along the third baseline. Take the sacrifice ground out to tie it up. The Dogs dig their way back into this one. 2-2 score here in the bottom of the 5th. Perez makes it home on a run. And Wallace makes it home. And Manzanillo with an RBI on senior night. Sanders Richardson, the second baseman, the next batter up for the Dogs. 2 outs and 1 on in scoring position at third base. Gilmer Pena hoping he can get batted in, and that was a shot to left field, and the Medford Mustangs able to get there for the 3rd out, and a great heads-up play there by the left fielder to come up and make it Piccolo there on the play. So at the end of 5, the Dogs dig their way back into this one. We got a tie ball game. Same way we started out, except the score is 2-2 and not 0-0. We'll be back with the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th. Dogs and Medford, Dogs and Mustangs all tied up 2-2. Marino, the batter up. Marino playing in the shortstop position today. Bulldogs able to make some pretty solid contact. The outfield for Medford, just in the right spot, in the right plate, right time. Piccolo, the left fielder, had to hustle to move up and ensure the 3rd out against the Dogs in the bottom of the 5th. And here we are, top of the 6th, 2-2 score. Two 2-0 count. Sorry, 3-0 count. Marino will take the 4th ball looking. And he'll take first with not much effort. 4 balls. 4 balls. Right, the designated hitter. Next guy up. Grout out is last at bat. And the English infield will take their time to have a discussion with Wallace. If you're just joining us, you're watching GBL Baseball here at beautiful Frazier Field in Lynn, Massachusetts. I got my crew from Lynn Classical. God's Will and Billy are up here in the perch, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the up-to-date events and sports happening within the Lynn schools. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue from Lynn Educational Television, and we're looking at a good one. Bulldogs scoreless up until the 5th inning. They were trailing 2 all the way through 2 and made up the difference. And here in the top of the 6th, English going to take an opportunity to bring in a reliever. So we'll see if we can get a number on the pitcher. And once we zoom in there, we'll be able to check our monitor out and get you a number on the pitcher. And I got number 5. So the senior shortstop, Kenny Manzanio, coming in to relieve Wallace. And let's see who's playing shortstop. So the shortstop's the guy on the left side of second base. That's the right. Yeah, that's the guy. Let's see if we can get a number on him. Ooh, blurry. Number 10. So Sanders Richardson going to move into the second shortstop position from second base. And let's get a shot on the second baseman here. We'll get you a number there. That's the first baseman. Guy over to the left-hand side. Keep going left. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Nope, you passed him. We'll get it for you later. All right, back to the standard. I hope our viewership still has their lunch. And designated hitter right up for his 3rd at bat. No outs right here for the Mustangs. Marino's sitting at first after the walk. Manzanillo relieving Wallace. Now playing in the pitching position from shortstop. Showing bunt, pulls it back. And Pena trying to pick off Marino, stealing second. Just can't get there in time. Almost took off Manzanillo's head. Right, looking over the third base coach for the call, the delivery. Fouled out along the first baseline. 0-2 count here for Wright, the designated hitter. So top of the 6th, Coach Malaya elects to bring in a new pitcher. The senior, Kenny Manzanillo. And on the mound, his first batter of the day. Shot there, able to get past the English third baseman. And here it comes, rounding third all the way home. Number 10, Marino. And a great job there by Wright, the designated hitter, to get the double. English third baseman Jariel Benson having a tough day in the infield. That one was costly. Mustangs able to drive in their third run of the game, now leading English by 1. Pucci, next batter up for the Mustangs. Single in his last at-bat. That pitch not able to be fielded cleanly by Pena, and that's going to give Wright the go-ahead to steal third. So now no outs, 1 run scored, 1 in scoring position at third. And the Dogs are trailing 1. Pucci awaits the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2 count. Manzanillo starting to find his groove here on senior night for the Bulldogs. Manzanillo, one senior who will be leaving, along with Elijah Wallace and Juan Reyes. That one a little low for the Blues' liking. The pitch just inside. 2-2. Deep shot to left field. The English left fielder able to get there. Can he throw him out at home? Pena's there for it. Gets the out. Double play. The Dogs able to fend off the Mustangs. 2 outs in the inning. Great job by the left fielder, Julian Rodriguez, to make the play. And he catches right on the tag up. Thrown out at home after a dramatic double and then a stolen third base. And a little bit of breathing room here for Kenny Manzanillo. Crow in the next batter up for the Mustangs. The pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1. Pitch just a bit outside, 1-1. Manzanillo coming in to relieve Wallace here in the top of the 6th inning. And a lot of pressure to start. Things got a little bit smoother as the inning moved on. And I think a lot of that credit is due to Julian Rodriguez's last play. One and one count, 2 outs. Medford has 1 run scored so far here in the top of the 6th. Just a bit outside. 3-2. Crow and the batter up for the Mustangs. Crow playing in the third base position today. The pitch just a little inside, and he'll take his base with a walk. Crow having a lot of luck getting on today. 2 doubles in his first 2 at-bats. Manzanillo takes his walk around the mound to collect himself and work his way out of this inning. D'Orazio, the catcher, next up at the plate for the Mustangs. Manzanillo looking over to first and trying to throw Crowan out. Forces Galva to jump up and retrieve that ball high up in the air. And lucky for the Dogs, he was able to do so effectively. The pitch just a little low. 1-0 count. Pitch fouled back over the backstop. And Crowan takes off for second. He'll be forced back to first. D'Orazio steps into the box. Manzanillo gets the call from Pena, throws it back over to Galva, trying to catch. Crowan out with a liberal lead. And instructs Galva to throw it back and ensures he's not going to fall for the hidden ball trick. Manzanillo with the pitch just a little outside. D'Orazio takes a swing and a miss, 2-2. Three to 2 here in the top of the sixth. Dogs trailing 1. Go-ahead run scored in this inning. Takes a swing at that one. Trying to stay alive, fouls that one out back along the first baseline. Pitcher's set. High ball. Manzanillo gets the call from Pena. The delivery. Foul ball back along the first baseline. D'Orazio living for another day. Full count here. 2 outs, 1 on at first base. Medford already able to get a run here in the top of the sixth to increase their lead back to 1. 3-2 game. English trailing. Starting to notice a trend with D'Orazio. He'll take the outside stuff. And we'll see what Manzanillo has to deliver here on the 3-2 count. The pitch. Just a bit outside. He's going to take his base. And Pena, thinking that Crowan was going to steal second, but just enthusiastically took second after the walk. Pinch runner coming in for the Mustangs. Miranda, wearing number 9, will come in and relieve Crowan from the second base bag. And if I were Coach Malaya, I might be telling my players, heads up on the steal. So, sacrifice bunt. I don't think it's going to do it. They have the force out at third. Piccolo, the batter up for the Mustangs. Takes a shot there, gets it back to Manzanillo, and he'll deliver that one to Galva for the third out of the inning. So Manzanillo able to come in the sixth and clean it up. A little messy Medford able to drive in one run. 3-2 Mustangs over the Dogs. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th. Gama Calderon, the batter, the right fielder up for the Bulldogs. 3-2 Mustangs lead. Calderon fouls that one off along the first baseline. 0-2 count. 2 early strikes. In the right fielder's third at bat. 2 flyouts so far. Calderon not taking any attempts at that one as it was far out. The pitch from Moody gets a piece of that one in the center right field, and that'll drop. He's going to round first and head to second, and he's going to go to third. He's going to have to get down, and he's safe for a triple. Dogs able to get a triple in their first at bat, and Calderon had 2 flyouts in his first 2. And an exciting triple on his third. And that'll bring up Jariel Benson. With the tying run on third. Benson with a single in his first at-bat, a flyout in his last. And a lot of excitement coming from the English bench side. D'Orazio going to come in to have a conversation with Moody in the infield. And we'll see if Coach Azzarello keeps him in or brings in the reliever. A little boast of confidence to the young man on the mound. We have confidence in you. We're just taking some time to let you know that. I want to say thanks to our viewership for tuning in to Lynn Educational Television. You're watching GBL Baseball. The Dogs are hosting the Medford Mustangs. 3-2 score in favor of Medford. The tying run on third. No outs right now. And we've got Jariel Benson up at plate, and that's one sloppy. And Calderon is going to come home. He'll steal home. Earns himself a run. Tie game back to 3-3. So back to the tie. D'Orazio just couldn't field that one cleanly. Snuck through the 5-hole and trailed back into the warning track. Short, choppy ball along the first baseline. That one goes foul. Jariel Benson, the batter up, the third baseman for the Bulldogs. The pitch from Moody. Pop fly back up and over the press box. Moody with the delivery. Benson not taking the bait. 2-2 count. Benzon takes a cut at that one. Goes down swinging. First strikeout of the inning. Fourth of the day so far for the pitcher Moody. Gilbert Galva, the first baseman. The next batter for the Bulldogs. A walk in his first at bat and a fly out in his second. Moody is set. Galva waits. Pop fly. That one's going to stay inside. Moody going to try to get under it for the out. Has sight on it. Almost lost it there. Another fly out for Galva. So 2 outs now as Wilfredo Perez, the designated hitter, steps up to the plate. Moody with the pitch. Little outside, 1-0 count. So they get the lefty on the fly out. Perez takes a cut, 1-1. Perez with a single in his last at bat. The pitch. 2-1. Just a bit inside, 3-1 count. Perez, the designated hitter, awaits the pitch from Moody, the delivery. Hits that one along the third baseline. It's going to stay fair, but the Medford infield can't handle it. Crowan getting an error there on what should have been the third out of the inning, but gives credence to the domino effect. So the DH able to get on first once again. And looks like we've got ourselves another pinch hitter, Jordan Hernandez, the batter up for the Bulldogs. Pinch hitting for Julian Rodriguez. Hernandez, his first at bat of the day. Oh, 1, 2 outs. Perez is at first. Hernandez jumps back, 1-1. Moody is set. Throws back to first, trying to catch Perez on the liberal lead. Pitch foul back behind and over the press box. One and two outs. Hernandez, the batter. Moody is set. Gets the call from D'Orazio. D'Orazio looking into the Medford dugout for the call from Coach. Time call by Hernandez. The old, you make me wait, I'm going to make you wait. D'Orazio looking at first, trying to tell Perez to get back onto the bag. 2-2 count, 2 outs here. Hernandez, the pinch hitter for Julian Rodriguez. Moody with the pitch, up high. D'Orazio looking back to Perez at first. Full count, 2 outs for the pinch hitter Hernandez. Trying for first, and they can't catch Perez out of order. Hernandez showing bunt, pulls back. He'll take the base on the walk. So now 2 on. Perez in scoring position at second. Elijah Wallace, the pitcher, up next. Wallace earning himself a hit and a run in the last inning. His third at bat of the day. Batting .500 so far. Moody with the pitch just outside, 1-0. Moody looking to try to catch Perez at second. And a little bit of hesitation there. Without that, I think he would have caught him. And most of us here in the press box are classical guys. Tonight, we're, wouldn't say rooting for English, but we could say we're rooting for English. Let's see a win, boys. English right now at a record of 6-8. Medford 7-8. Last game English saw was a loss to Malden, so they're hungry for a win. They got Marblehead tomorrow. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count, 2 outs. 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Medford's last game, a W over Everett, 6-3, and they got Woburn Memorial later on next week. Pitch, short choppy ball along the third baseline, and they'll tag out. Looks like we're going to get a foul call. And it looked foul from here. And that was a great job by the third baseman to pretend like nothing happened. Crow in there. Fields the ball, makes the tag, and starts heading into the bench. And the ump says, hey, wait a second. That one was not fair. But that's a strike. And that's going to send Wallace packing. Second strikeout of the day for the English Bulldog. And at the end of 6, we're going into the 7th with a tie game, 3-3. Top of the 7th, 3-3 game. English dug their way back in after being down 2. Both clubs scoring a run in the last inning. Manzanillo, the pitcher, in on the mound for the Bulldogs. Relieving Wallace in the 6th. And he hits the batter, and he'll take his base, the second beating of the day. First of the day for Manzanillo. So Giogas gets on with the beaning. And Mangan, the next batter up for Medford. Manzanillo checking him at first. Throws it back over to Galva. He slides in to stay safe. Showing bunt. That one goes back towards Manzanillo, and he's able to make the play and the tag at first on his own. And Galva's jumping around, not for joy, but for pain. The kid got cleated. It'll take his time to get back to first as the coaching and med staff come out to evaluate how serious this may be. This would be a big problem for English. First baseman's been playing a really good game in the infield, and he's been pretty solid. throughout the season. So a little bit of GBL baseball for our viewership at Lynn Educational Television. We're happy to bring you high school sports. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe and smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening within the schools here in beautiful Lynn, Massachusetts. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue. Our crew from Classical up in the perch, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. I want to say thanks to Godswill and Billy, giving up their Friday night to come out here and cover the biggest rival that they'll ever have in the rest of their lives. English right now standing at a record of 6-8, hungry for a win as their last game a loss to Malden, another GBL team. Lombardo, the batter. Giogas on second after the short ground out. Short choppy ball over to the shortstop from English, delivered over to Galva cleanly. Galva wants to hand deliver that one back to Manzanillo. So 2 groundouts in a row help advance Giogas for the go-ahead run at third. 2 outs right now for Medford. Manzanillo delivers that one. Deep fly ball. Gonna fall out of bounds. And Galva just couldn't get there in time. Certainly disappointed with himself. That one falls foul. So Giogas will go back to third. And what should have been the final out of the inning results in a 0-1 count. 2 outs here. Marino, the batter. Pop fly back up over the dugout. Medford fans a little bit more reluctant to just not pay attention. Most of them jump to their feet. Marino awaits the pitch from Manzanillo. Gets a piece of that one, but stays foul. Oh, and 2 count, 2 outs. The go-ahead run on third. Giogas. Deep fly ball into left field. He's got to go back to try to get there. That one falls fair, and you got a stand-up double for Marino. Giogas is going to get home for his first run of the day. Medford's lead back in style here at Fraser. 4-3 score. English is trailing. Manzanillo looking over to Galvin saying, hey, look, don't sweat it. Not your fault. Let's get this third out and get out of this inning so we can get back up to the plate. Wright, the designated hitter for the Mustangs, up at the plate. Takes a strike in the first pitch. Wright with a double. Stole third in his last at-bat and was thrown out at home. Fouls that one back, 0-2 count. Manzanillo looking to end it here. Get back up to the bags. Plate. Manzanillo looking back to second. Let Marino know. Wright steps into the box. Manzanillo gets the call from Pena. He agrees. The delivery. And catches the DH right in the shoulder. Wright goes down. Looks like a piece of his bat might have caught it. So the gods of baseball appearing here for Manzanillo. The DH will go back up as it's a foul call. Wright awaits the pitch. Takes a shot at that one. Over to the shortstop, delivering to the first. And they get the third out. And Galva will walk it in. And at the end of the top of the seventh, Medford able to gain another lead, 4-3, as we head into the bottom of the seventh. Bottom of the seventh, Dogs are trailing by 1 after a late run by the Medford Mustangs. Stepping up to the plate, Gilmer Pena, the center fielder. Pena with a single in his last at-bat, only his third time at the plate today. Medford bringing in a reliever. Slow, the pitcher, coming in to relieve. To relieve Moody. One and two count, no outs. Dogs trail by 1 here in the bottom of the seventh. The pitch from Slow. Fouled out along the third baseline. No ooh-rahs for the third base coach off the English bench, as he wasn't able to barehand that one. He did have a nice barehand to play earlier on in the game. 1 and 2 count. Gilmer Pena, the batter. Bit of the high stuff, won't take the bait. Slow gets the call. The delivery just a bit inside. And Gilmer Pena taking a piece of that one. Swinging to stay alive, 2 and 2. Ball call. Full count here. Gilmer Pena awaits the pitch. Slow with the delivery. Drop third. Actually, a ball call. He came out of the batter's box with such tenacity. I thought maybe D'Orazio had dropped the third strike. Pena gets on with a walk. Back to the top of the lineup. The now pitcher, Kenny Manzanillo, once shortstop in today's game, now up to the plate. Tough time in the box for Manzanillo. Slow gets the call. Playing a little bit of softball with the first baseman out of Medford. Pucci throws it back and says, stop messing around and strike this guy out. Manzanillo thinking differently. The pitch. Strike call, 0-1. The pitch dropped, and that's going to give the go-ahead steal for Gilmer Pena. No outs, one in scoring position at second. And we got a ball game for you, folks. Slow is set. The pitch. Strike. 2-1 count. The pitch. Short, choppy ground ball to the second baseman, thrown for the first out of the inning. But not before Gilmer Pena is able to advance to third. Now the tying run at third, 1 out here for the Bulldogs. Sanders Richardson up to bat next. That one a little low. Richardson awaits the pitch from Slow. Strike call there, 1-1 count. Four to 3, Medford leads. 1 out. The tying run on third. Strike call there, 1-1. This game is getting tight. Up and down game. English able to come back into it. And certainly within reach of earning a W here after the loss to Malden earlier this week. Just a bit inside. Richardson backs up off the plate. 2-2. Slow with the pitch. Pop fly out along the first baseline. Slow with the pitch. Just a bit high. Full count here. Sanders Richardson will take the base after the walk. 2 on, 1 out for the Dogs. And coming up to the plate, Gama Calderon. Last time this guy was up, he had a triple. So the Medford infield will come in to assess and give Slow the deets on the ability of Gama Calderon, the right fielder. Pretty tight game today so far. It's been an up and down, back and forth. 2 runs scored by Medford in the top of the second. And it'd be a while until we saw English do anything with it. English would score late in the 5th with 2 runs, and then again in the 6th. But unfortunately for them, Medford able to drive in another run in the last inning and the 6th. So a lot of confidence from Calderon to come up to the plate after a triple in his last at-bat, but versus a different pitcher. And towards the end of the tenure for Moody, who started this game off. And that was the beginning of the end of Moody's time on the mound, I think. Slow looking back to first, trying to catch Richardson out out of place. Slow gets the call from D'Orazio. Swing and a shot. Line drive across the third baseline. 20 feet in the air, but hit hard enough to get everybody to duck. Calderon awaits the pitch from Slow. Strike call there. 0-2 count, 1 out for the right fielder. The pitch fouled out along the first baseline. One and two. Calderon making Slow work for it. The pitch from Slow. Check swing there. And much to the dismay of the Medford Mustang fan base, a ball call, 2-2 count. Calderon awaits the pitch from Slow. The delivery. Check swing. D'Orazio throws to third. Trying to catch Gilmer Pena off the bag. But he should have went to second. Sanders Richardson stealing second there. Now the tying run on third and the go-ahead run on second. 1 out. Fourth ball call there. Calderon will take his base. Now the bases are loaded as Jariel Benson comes up to play. Benson a strikeout in his last at-bat, but that was against a different pitcher. Benson playing in the third base position. The pitch. Benson backs off of it. Strike call, 0-1 count. Zahn stays away from that one, a little far and outside for him. Benzan taking his time to get back into the box. High ball there, 2-1 count. Benzan takes a piece of that one. Fouls it back into the thigh of D'Orazio. Benzan approaches the plate. Slow. The delivery. Full count. Benzan takes his time, gets up to the plate. The pitch from Slow. Another one. The tying run will walk in. So 4 walks here in the bottom of the 7th. And the Medford coaching staff Gonna make an adjustment here as the bases are still loaded for Gilbert Galva. Galva's fourth at bat of the day, a walk in his first, and his last 2 flyouts. So we'll see who Coach Azzarello brings in. Looking like the right fielder from Medford. Lombardo, who's wearing number 9. I'm sorry, number 6. He's in the 9 position. So Lombardo to be the second reliever today. And they'll give some time to Lombardo to warm up. So bases loaded here, 1 out for the Dogs. If they can drive in 1 more run, they'll take the W. Last 2 innings, very exciting. 4 runs total, 2 runs per team. Medford coming out strong. Had English on their heels throughout most of the game. And they'll give him his standard pitch count. And it looks like they're making a last-minute adjustment here. Marino coming in. So Lombardo will make a move to the infield. And they're calling the steady hand of Marino. Marino starting this game out in the shortstop position. So he's certainly got the arm strength. Accuracy looks good so far. The English base runners are coming back onto the diamond to get into position. And that's going to give Gilbert Galva the go-ahead up to the plate. And we'll see if Galva can drive in the winning run for Lynn English. D'Orazio going to have a quick conversation with Marino. So the Medford coaching staff brought in Slow from Moody. And after 4 walks, Coach Azzarello had to make a move. The pitch just outside, 1-0. Tough spot for Marino to come in here. Bottom of the 7th, tie game, loaded bases. Although I think any kid who's ever played baseball and wanted to pitch has put themselves into the circumstance before chucking that ball into the back pitch or pitch back. I was a lacrosse guy, people. I didn't know. 4-4, 1 out, loaded bases for the Dogs. 3-0 count. Marino getting called in. Gilbert Galva, the batter. The pitch from Marino, just outside. And that'll be it. The Dogs gonna take the victory. 5 walks in the 7th. Bad news for the Mustangs. Great news if you're a Lynn English Bulldog. So at the end of 7, the Bulldogs able to fight their way back into it over and over again. 2 runs scored in the 2nd by Medford. Starting off strong, and the Dogs staying consistent, playing the small ball game, and you watch the domino effect take place through the last 3 innings for the Bulldogs. So, at the end of 7, Bulldogs are going to take this one away from Medford with a 5-4 victory. I want to say thanks to the seniors for coming out and playing this season. We'll be saying goodbye to Kenny Manzanio. We'll be saying goodbye to Juan Reyes And we'll also be saying goodbye to Elijah Wallace. And today, my crew from Classical and myself will be saying goodbye to you. From the press box here at Fraser Field, I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue from Lynn Educational Television, wishing you all the best.